Flew to the city of LA, sleeping pills in my system, but I'm wide awake.
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask you is about your influences and inspirations, like from childhood. Like, what kind of music were you surrounded by growing up?
I was surrounded by, well, I had a lot of music lessons from when I was 4, so the own sound of the recorder that I started playing.
Was that your flagship instrument, your first instrument?
Yeah, I still play it sometimes.
Wicked.
Just, for random stuff. I played it in the Tim Finn band, and there's like a song called 6 Months in a Leaky Boat, and it's got like a whistle solo, so I played that in the recorder, and in an Elvis band, but it's probably not the coolest thing to voice. Anyway, yeah, I had, I don't know, my parents never really listened to many bands, and we kind of just had really cheesy compilation CDs for when my parents' friends came over.
Right, yeah.
And I was quite involved with playing music at church when I was younger as well, so a lot of that music, and a lot of kind of like, I wanted to be doing theatre stuff when I grew up, so a lot of that stuff, so nothing very like cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think I discovered the Beatles till, I don't know, I was 15 or something like that. But yeah, I went through all the phases as a young teenager. My first CD I bought was My Street Jams, so like a lot of hip hop, and then kind of just a lot of 90s music.
Yeah. Did you feel like you had any role models or like people you looked up to? You go, oh, I want to be a musician. I want to be like that.
I really loved, well, even New Zealand musicians like Vic Ronger and artists like that, who I still really enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
And then I went to jazz school as well, so listened to some jazz vocalists, but I don't know, I went through heaps of phases. I mean, I loved the Jagged Little Pill album by Alanis Morissette and like played that to death, so yeah.
Ali was like, the first tape I ever bought was Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. Yeah. I feel like a lot of young girls kind of got into Alanis, which is cool.
I just remember thinking it was so rebellious, like having swear words, because, you know, I don't know, a relatively sheltered upbringing, I suppose, so it was like, oh wow, that's like, you know, a bit racy.
Which it was, right?
Yeah, and then like, I don't know, I was in a band called Velez at high school, and we did like the Rock Quest and started playing in bars when I was about 15, 16.
Right, that's interesting. That's kind of similar to my experience.
Yeah.
Like, I started playing at bars when I was around that age too, because the guys in my bands
Did you have to bring your parents?
Yeah, my dad came to like all the shows and like watched them.
Oh, Dad.
So when you were kind of in that scene, you're quite young, like were the other members of your band girls as well? Or?
No, I was the only girl. Yeah. And I experienced from quite a young age the complex of being the girl in the band kind of situation.
Yeah.
People that would book us, you know, like, were in hindsight very seedy, some of them, and had a lot of like interesting comments about being a girl in a band and how they have some idea about what that would be like, you know, without actually knowing anything about you.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of specific experiences where you're just like, you always remember it to this day because you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have quite a few actually, because in that kind of really, like, we were playing in this, the band Velez, like we played at a venue called The Temple a lot, which was like this great original music venue on Queen Street in Auckland that were really supportive, but also like a lot of 5 bands for $5 type things. And I remember a particular guy calling me, like getting me to come upstairs to chat to him, and kind of goes, oh, I'd like you to do some big backing vocals for me, love. And it was just so seedy, and it was like a really awkward situation to be in, because I was like 16 or something. It's like, what do you say to that? Like, and
such a vulnerable age for girls as well, and especially in the music scene, it's kind of like you kind of just take it because you don't know that you can just be like, oh dude, like what the fuck, you know, like. And I guess I wasn't very used to conflict and stuff like that. So. Yeah. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I was playing music at church at that stage in my life, and it was like these two worlds, and I couldn't win in either of them. Right. Yeah. And I really let it get to me much more than I would now. I would play that band Velez. We ended up earning money. We discovered, we can earn money by doing covers and stuff. So even before 18, playing covers until 3 a.m, and bars like right next to strip clubs and stuff like that. And people would just treat you the same way or look at you the same way. Yeah. And it's like, whoa. And then I would get up at 7. Go to church, and then
I remember someone in the congregation who was also a musician calling me aside and saying, I just think your skirt's a bit too short to be playing that kind of thing. Little did I know that he was the one that had the problem and ended up, not being faithful to his girlfriend. So it was obviously his problem looking at my legs and and it was just like, what? And because the night before, I remember someone saying, oh, pretty girl, but you could do with sexing it up a bit. And, sex was this foreign thing to me then. I was still like, I don't know, figuring out who I was. Yeah. So it was like, what? I can't, what? So it's just like, whoa. So it's taken me a while to be able to like not worry about that. I was too scared to take my jacket off at church because I was the one playing the music in the background while the sermon was playing. And even now, if I'm taking up my jacket during a gig, I'm like, oh, is this, but I'm like, shut up, brain.
I know.
It's all good.
Yeah, but it's interesting that I feel like women, we do all think about this stuff, like women musicians, dudes don't ever have to think about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Clothing and image and stuff comes up a lot, and just comfortable in your own skin with a lot of women that I've talked to and my own experience.
It's pretty shit.
But the annoying thing is it doesn't really come from us. It's read into us habitually from comments your skirt's a bit too short, or you could sex it up and stuff. We don't bring that on ourselves.
Well, I'm sure in hindsight, the God I believe in or believed in or whatever would be much more offended by his comment than my legs. It's
he created these legs.
But saying that, the same thing happened at a school I work at. I was taking the choir. I came on my day off, taking the choir, and the reverend said the same thing, but it was like a knee-length skirt down to here.
Oh, your knees. No, can't do the knees.
I know, and she was wearing Crocs, and I'm like, come on, what's more offensive? But I took it on board, and I was like, what's wrong? What have I done wrong? I'm like, actually, it's just, I got really upset because I take quite a lot of pride in how I present myself, and feel like really love doing the mentoring aspect of songwriting. I've done a lot of that in New Zealand, actually, working at schools. I love working with girls and helping them create music, and I actually have to spend a lot of time thinking about what images you're putting out. And it's hard because sometimes you see Instagram and it's so easy to compare yourself to other people or think, oh, maybe I need to be putting a photo up where I look filtered or whatever. But it's like, oh, but then you think about is this contributing to a better society for female musicians or not?
Who knows, really?
It's a complex.
Are you quite conscious, because with your mentoring, you say you work with younger girls a bit, are you quite conscious to kind of not warn them, but just kind of let them know about the industry as a whole, and don't be discouraged if a guy tells you your skirt's too short, or those things are going to happen. Do you ever talk about that kind of stuff?
I do talk about that kind of thing as well, because but I also don't want to sound like I'm this old, bitter, has-been or something. Even I've done quite a bit of work as a session musician, playing keyboards and singing for all those talent shows, X Factor and all that kind of thing. And there's that side of things to be wary of, where people can get ripped off, guys and girls. But that's kind of another thing. But I worked so hard doing shitty jobs to pay for my first couple of music videos before I got any funding or assistance, and I was just sort of getting my own stuff out there more, and someone who had their own label showed interest and took, this really kind of awkward, let's have dinner and chat about it, and it's such a grey area because you're okay, cool, but then you feel I don't know, just the way that's set up as a cool dinner, is that appropriate? How am I?
It's a business dinner. Is this is this sort of weird? Are you gonna hit on me? Is this actually secretly a date?
Exactly. You can laugh it off awkwardly, but they'll get to a point. I have got to a point sometimes where I'll just snap because of all those times that especially I've always supplemented my own music by playing in hotels and stuff. So I was working at the Ritz Hotel in London, the VIP area, and you think that would be a place with some class. Yeah. But it's just the same everywhere. I was playing piano for 5 hours, I think, and singing for 5 hours.
Wow.
Someone had a tip jar because they didn't actually pay that well, so that was another way of earning money. He goes, oh, can you continue playing? I'm really enjoying it, because I was about to have a break. And then, expected after I finished a conversation and me to sit down, eat a wine ready for me,
Like
and
he'd
it's like, I'm not an escort. Like, you know, I would see the escorts in these places, but I felt like I was treated the same way. And someone in that actual Ritz hotel came up to me and said, I've always wanted to fuck a girl on a piano. It's like,
holy shit.
wow, okay, good for you.
Quote.
I've always wanted to punch someone in the face. You know, like, I don't know, it's just, but because I'm there in a black dress and like, I don't know, it's just this awkward situation,
girl,
you know?
like,
I'm finishing at 1 a.m. in London, getting the night bus. It's like, I hate that situation that you put in.
Yeah.
And then you're like, am I here because I'm a girl, or am I here because I'm actually fucking good at what I do? And you have to reaffirm that all the time, and it gets really tiring.
It's not because I'm a girl. It's not because I'm good at what I do. Yeah.
Well, like, it's nothing wrong with, I mean, I love being a woman and celebrating other women's talent, but yeah, it feels yuck when that happens.
Yeah.
Get a lot of winks and a lot of like stuff like that, and it's just like, I don't know. I get really angry, but I also know there's some fantastic men out there that have been supportive, but unfortunately, the people that I have sort of let assist me have ended up being slightly disappointing as well in the way I've seen them treat other women. So it's kind of like, oh man, but
we will get there.
yes,
yeah,
indeed.
The conversation is the important part.
That's right. Yeah,
kind of just letting people know that shit like this happens.
Totally.
Those are some like brilliant, awful stories. Like,
I've got to like. We'll hang out later and I'll tell you more.
Yeah, brilliant. So what's next for you? You like got releases on the calendar?
Yeah, I've just started to rent a studio space so I can actually make a job out of going to there and writing every day.
Fantastic.
I put out an EP at the end of last year and toured with that, and I've been living in Melbourne for about 2.5 years now, and there's some great other musicians I've met. There's a great community. There's people going out weeknights to watch music.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm an outcast because I'm not married with kids, like a lot of my friends back home. It's been good for me in that respect, and also because I've been making music in New Zealand for a long time, being in Australia is
refreshing.
It's been a good chance to kind of not be that girl that played at church and not be, you know, the lounge singer, just be me and
clean slate kind of stuff.
Write new music, and the gigs are getting better and better, and I'm getting better at recording my own stuff, so you know, I don't have to be at the
wicked.
Be able to do my own demos and that
at
sort
the
of
mercy
thing.
of another person.
Hitting other guy.
Hitting the space bar and doing those things. And like, what are they doing? I don't know.
So hopefully a new album next year is the plan. I've done
wicked.
2 so far, but it's pretty expensive, and I continue to choose to work playing music that I don't always care about that much, like weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I really have to monitor how much of that I let in, because I'm the only girl, and it is a bit of a boys' club. Yeah. And you know, playing like a girl or whatever, just those kind of comments. But saying that, not everyone is like that, so I've got to remember that.
Yeah. And probably also like doing a lot of shows like that, it kind of, if you get too stuck in that world, it kind of takes away from your own inspiration and creativity. Because when you do shows like that, are you doing covers or are you...
The weddings? So the weddings, you'd be like a singer, I'd be a singer or something, you might be on guitar, I'd shake your hand and say nice to meet you. We might not have played together, we're going to play for like 6 hours.
I
just have to know a heap of songs.
Wow, that's intense.
But I got a highlight this year was arranging one of my own songs for the Auckland Symphony, and got to do that for a concert. So stuff like that, I'm like, actually no, I got it at music, because you know, you can arrange bits and pieces. Never done that before, so that was really cool.
That is awesome.
It's a very like up and down thing, you know. I did a stadium tour opening for Simply Red, which are like a band that, do you know them?
Yeah, of course. That would have been outrageous.
It was kind of random, you know, but cool to play to that many people. But the next day, you know, I'm playing to no one, possibly earning more doing that. Or it's just like, whoa, bit of a head fuck.
That's cool though. That's great though. I think like, because there's something about like, playing to big crowds are massive, but then when you go into a really small show, there's something just keeps you kind of grounded in the whole thing.
Oh yeah, it's like, that's right, yes.
That's right. Yeah. And that's kind of makes the dynamic of it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to me. I actually have a wee gift for you. Do you have dietary requirements? Like, are you vegan or anything? Or?
Not quite vegan.
But you're veggie?
Yeah.
So, okay, that's all right. It's just a wee
allergic to avocado, unfortunately.
Just a wee little vagina cupcake for you.
Okay.
If you want to take your wee pick, what one do you think is the prettiest?
Oh, I don't want to judge. Everyone's
All
unique.
vaginas are beautiful.
I'll just hit one closest to me.